Hey, everybody, don't go away just quite yet because we have something brand new that we're going to be starting right at the end of our live streams, and we're going to show you this amazing thing that is just about to happen. We're going to kick it off right now, so why don't you follow me? We're going to come out of our lobby. We're going to go down into the new extension here. And as we come down our hallway, this is where all of our staff offices are. This is where the multi-purpose room is, the conference room, but we have one special room that we've shared with you before, but I kind of want to show you the way it's going to be utilized from this point on. From now on, every time that we go into or out of our services, we're going to come into the studio and we're going to start talking about what we just experienced. So this is our studio right here. I'm going to kind of show you in, and then we're going to show you exactly what we got going on right here. So as you can see, I'm in here. We've got some amazing tech people that's in here. This is Anthony. Anthony has been running all of our audio for our live stream right now, which is really cool. Anthony, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Super duper. And Christy is over here. She's doing all of our video switching. Christy, how are you?
I'm doing good.
She does not like being on camera. This is my wife, by the way. If anybody doesn't know and wants to know, this is my wife. She's pretty cool. But what's happening in here, this is the technical heartbeat of everything for our live stream. And what you see over on this side, and this is actually now our studio space, where we are going to, after the services, we're going to throw it into the studio so we can talk about what we just experienced. And Josh is already over here set. I'm going to put this microphone down. I'm going to join him into our studio, and we're going to take it over from there.
Man, good morning, everyone. Now, while Steve's coming over here to sit down, we do got to talk about something real fast. Perry showed a TikTok in his message today that we filmed this past week, and I just want to give a big shout out to Steve because he saved us in that TikTok, because Perry and I are not the best dancers. We are not the most coordinated people, so it's awesome that we get to have fun. But Steve is the one that saves us in all of those TikToks.
Well,
so big shout out to you,
here's the thing.
Steve.
I need to let you know. I need to remind you and let everybody know. You know, I am a paid professional actor.
True.
And
that
dancer.
is true. Yep, you just show up, Perry and I, and we are constantly striving to reach your level of excellence. I just don't know if we're ever going to be able to accomplish it.
You know what? I thought today with the chairs and us kind of zooming around and having fun, I thought it worked. But it only works really well with our with Elizabeth. She's the one that's really choreographing everything and putting it all together.
Yeah.
So super fun. The TikToks, if you guys are not following us on TikTok or Instagram or on Facebook, those are the three places that you're going to be able to see all of those kind of fun, kind of crazy things, because we like to have fun here. We like to showcase our personality, and that's really what our Sundays are all about. So our live stream experience is all about our personality. So we kick off with our pre-show. And our pre-show is lighthearted. It's fun. You're going to hear all about our announcements, everything that's going on, but you're going to see kind of the fun personality of who we are as a church and kind of what's going on. And so we're going to talk about what we're doing here. Like, why are we adding something at the end of our service? Wasn't the service enough, right?
For sure.
And so we're going to talk about that. I left my notes over here. I'm going to go grab them real fast.
Yep. So this post show is going to be happening every single Sunday in our live stream right after we finish the message from whoever is speaking. Now this post show is going to be great because we're going to be able to break down what we heard and what we talked about and be able to go deeper into application and be able to answer any questions that people might have during the service.
Yeah. So this is the way that I kind of presented it as we were brainstorming and coming up with the ideas of what we're going to do, right, as a church. A couple of years ago, we had the idea of adding in our pre-show, which was really our opportunity to showcase all of our announcements. Yeah. It really was an opportunity for us to get people who are our online church, give them an opportunity to connect in a brand new way.
Yeah,
that was the whole point,
blast.
Right?
Yeah.
So I started thinking of it, and it all comes down to college football. I know you're a big college
football.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a minute because a lot happened, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about football, college football or pro football or whatever, before the actual event, before the game, they have this pre-show. And in the pre-show, it's really an opportunity for them to have a little bit of fun,
Right.
right? Give their predictions, kind of get the people around them kind of hyped up. It's an opportunity for them to be very lighthearted and have fun before the actual event.
Yeah.
So we took that same approach with our pre-show, right? So you have Andy and Layla kind of normally host it, and then you've got Lexi and Elizabeth that typically go around and interview people in the church, and you get to meet new people, and they ask them stupid questions. Just a lot of fun. Yeah. So we mirrored that, and then we have the event, right? So in football, you have the game, right? And that's where all the action is. That is the heartbeat, the meat of everything. And for us, we have our service. So we've got our worship time and we have the sermon time. And I don't know if you guys have realized it, but we have stripped that down to really the bare essentials. We have only X amount of minutes to be with you every single week. And so we're like, how do we maximize every single moment? Yeah. And so we're like, what are the things that matter the most? Worship and getting into God's word. And so that's how we approach it. And then we've always kind of left it there, kind of like left you, the people at home to kind of mull over it and think about it and whatever. But what happens when you're actually here at church? Well, you get together with your friends, you meet in the lobby, you start talking about things, and hopefully you're reflecting on what you just experienced. Mm-hmm. And so the idea is, how do we take that same approach with our online experience? And if we take it back to that college football thing, typically they have the pre-show, then they have the game, and then they have a post-show analysis where it kicks it back to a studio setting, right? Yep. There's no fans around anymore. It's just a more sterilized environment, but it's an environment that allows them to focus on analyzing what they just experienced. Right. The game and whatever. So for us, we're going to kick it into our studio, which is an amazing, beautiful space that has been created. We are so fortunate to have opportunities like this, and we're going to break down what we just experienced: the worship, the sermon, digging into God's word, the action steps that we're challenged with. Mm-hmm. How do we then take those, and what does that look like in that application? So that's kind of the idea of what we're doing right here.
Yeah. So I'm super excited for this. One of the things that we're really going to be starting this with next week is our deconstruction series. This deconstruction series is going to be going over all the hot button topics that we have coming up, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. Every single week, Dave, who's going to be delivering the message, is going to be right where Steve is sitting right there, and he's going to be able to answer any questions that you guys have. Do you want to share a little bit more about that, Steve?
Yeah. And as you notice, like, we have 4 seats here, right? We've got 4 microphones. The plan is to not just have 1 or 2 people talking about this, is to get a small group of people and dig a little bit deeper into what is said. And the reason that we're going to invite Dave in specifically over this series is because he's delivering the message, and these messages are going to be real heavy, right? Mm-hmm. We're dealing with some very sensitive topics that are very important for us to dig into, especially in today's culture. Yeah. And with our deconstruction books that we've got, we're going to follow right along. So every single week after he's done preaching, he's going to hurry back here. He's going to join you and a couple of other people and really just talk through a little bit deeper on maybe some of the key points that he says. But this is also our opportunity to ask questions, right? Because there's so much that is going to be thrown at us all at once. And all of a sudden you're going to find yourself either resisting some, or maybe something didn't click, or maybe you just have a clarifying question because the topics are so sensitive. This will be a good chance for the people in studio to ask those questions live, but it will be an opportunity for you guys at home to actually submit questions. So every single week, Layla is on our live chat, and you can join in. We encourage you every single week, join in on the live chat. You'll be able to ask questions that way. On our website and on the app, there's also going to be a tile or a tab on there where you can submit questions, and those questions are the best way for us to continue to have these dialogues while we're in here.
For sure. And one thing I do want to share is it is always okay to ask questions. God is not afraid of questions. We're not afraid of your questions. We're not going to look at you any different. So if you have a question, we encourage you to be vulnerable and to share that. And speaking of questions, Steve, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So we're holding these physical copies of this deconstruction book.
Yes.
Now, obviously, the people that are watching this, they might not live in Michigan. They might be all across the country. How will they be able to get this book?
Yeah. So, like Josh said, we have the deconstruction book. These are going to be given out at church over the next couple of weeks. We have several of them. They're free for us to give out to you. These were created, written specifically for this sermon series. So Dave Sanders wrote all the content. I've put it all together. We just got them back from the professional printer. So these are great resource for us to have. But if you are watching online and you don't have the opportunity to get a physical copy, on our website, we're going to have a special tab that will say Deconstruction Part 2. And when you click on that, you'll be able to get to a PDF of the actual booklet, and you'll be able to follow along no matter where you are.
Yeah, and this booklet is incredible. It's got tons of resources. It's got links to things. You'll have tons of questions that you can ask in a small group format or just with yourself personally. So I highly encourage you, whenever this is available, to either get one physically or if you're online, to go to our website and grab one of those.
Yeah, all of that's going to be available next Sunday. We're going to start that next Sunday.
Next Sunday.